Welcome back. Today we're covering a couple of topics, and we're starting with Rick Ross, who found himself backtracking once again after getting called out.
Listening to this, homie. Listen to me. My shine. I don't want to see you lose. No real want to see you lose. That ain't what it's about.
He's been stirring up confusion across the hip-hop community, and we'll get into the details in just a moment. We've also got Skylar Grey opening up about what it was really like working alongside Eminem and Dr. Dre. Plus, Shady Records artist Westside Boogie has dropped a fresh update on his upcoming album. And on top of that, Eminem has hit a couple of major new milestones already in 2026. Before we dive in, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, let's start with Rick Ross. He recently made the claim that nobody actually wants to see Drake lose, which is a striking statement coming from someone who, back in 2024, was openly jumping on the anti-Drake wave, calling him out with serious allegations, and suggesting that Drake relied on ghostwriters for some of his biggest records. And it's not just people in Kendrick Lamar's corner raising eyebrows at this level of flip-flopping. We already saw the reaction from DJ Head and his co-host, and now the Rory and Mal podcast is also weighing in, and they are not holding back on the latest switch-up from Ross.
Finally admit that Rick Ross is weird.
Why? Why do you say that?
We didn't put enough light into how weird it was that Rick Ross entered into that rap beef. Like, why are you in this whole thing? And then you came up with an excuse that it was because Drake didn't clear his verse for French Montana's album, which made all the sense in the world because everyone was waiting for Drake to say something in the biggest moment, and it wasn't about to be a verse he did 10 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then French Montana is sitting next to him going like, nah, I was fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck are you doing, Rick Ross?
But
You're finding any way to just get in this shit, and now you're telling, yo, I want to see you win, homie. Shut up. Shut up. He's one of my favorite rappers. He's hilarious. His discography is incredible, but that's some weirdo, like that's super weird.
We said it was weird for him to do that. We said he was trying to capitalize at the moment. He shot a video for the song with a bunch of Bel Air around him. Like, people were trying to capitalize in the moment. Like, we knew what that was.
I understand the Metro thing, and there's women involved, Weekend, there's exes involved, and maybe Drake fucked someone's baby mother, or there's some slimy shit going on with women, because that's usually how things get to this point. Rick Ross said, oh, he didn't clear a verse for French, so fuck him, I'm in this now. After he gave me all my #1 records.
Yeah, I mean.
That's like, that. Everyone else, I understood why, even if it wasn't a great reason, I understood why the 20v1 existed and everything in the history with Drake and certain artists. Rick Ross, who's his mans, just entered into that beef because he wanted to.
And at this point, it's pretty clear that Rick Ross has taken note of the reaction, because he recently sat down on the NASA On Air podcast and addressed the people who believe he's intimidated by Ice Spice, and he had a few things to say about that.
OMG could represent hip-hop?
They the only ones doing it now. Yeah. I don't know who else is doing it.
I can't say that now.
They doing more than you doing.
I can't say
Right now, they doing more than you doing right now.
They're not doing it for hip hop, but it happens to be in the best interest of hip hop.
Abraham Lincoln didn't free the slaves for black people neither, but it was the thing that fucking happened. Sometimes you get some lucky shit for some shit that don't nobody give a fuck about you. But because it's UMG,
I don't like that.
Why is UMG the one standing up for hip hop?
Hip
I
hop.
don't think it's about hip hop. I think it's about artistic expression and making
standing up for hip hop, man. They just trying to win a lawsuit.
they're trying to win a lawsuit. They're also siding with the First Amendment, our constitutional right, and for artist expression, for artists to be able to say something without the feds being like, you actually meant that, we're gonna arrest you. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with them being a representation for hip hop. It's just making sure artists under their label can say, hey, I did this in their art, without the cops calling and saying, hey, we're taking that as fact and not as artistic expression. And so you're gonna face legal consequences. It's the same thing Drake signed to in 2022 of like, no, like we should not use rap lyrics in the court of law, because then so many people would be implicated in that, right? You would have to self-censor in order to put music out. So I don't think they're a stand-in for hip hop, or I don't think they even care about it. I think it's just protecting their artists' First Amendment right to say what they need to say in the art without, cops being like, hey, we got them.
And they're also protecting their exposure from every rap battle that's happened in rap history where they have been the one to distribute the music. That doesn't matter though. They happen to be on the same side
as hip-hop.
As hip-hop. Like, this isn't like my position on this is not in support of, vampire squid-sized gargantuan multinational corporations. That is not who I'm ever caping for. But in this situation, they happen to be the ones fighting in this specific situation for the values that I believe when it comes to artistic license, when it comes to freedom of speech, when it comes to whether or not someone should be able to sue because they lost a rap battle. That's essentially what happened.
You participated in, Jay, that you know. And it's like, his fans are not. We gotta stop skipping over that.
Real quick. Not to walk on you glasses. For the record, I've always gone against this lawsuit. Here, the rap roundtable, I know you're not aiming directly at me.
I'm not saying you're against it, but I'm saying,
for the sake of everybody watching, I've always denounced the lawsuit. I've always said I'm not rocking with it.
But I'm saying we shouldn't even be talking about listening to this album with this.
We both gonna listen to it though. Glasses.
On Olivia's Soul, I'm not.
Listen to it, bro.
On Olivia's Soul, I'm not. Unless he make a song talking about why he took down the lawsuit and how he was wrong. When I listen to it, I'm not going, because that needs to be an energy that's coming off. You can't just drop a block of ice and I'm gonna believe that's what the conversation is about. You gotta actually do the work. Like I'm saying, we should not be talking about listening to no album that's endangering the thing that we love. That's just crazy. Would you listen to an album to somebody that was like, kicking the shit out your brother? Then we gonna listen to his album. I don't give a fuck how good the album sound. Fuck how good the album sound. Bro, it's gotten worse. And it all started, Jay. I said this shit 7 fucking years ago. I said, this motherfucker not hip hop, bro. And he gonna show everybody over and over again that he is not hip hop.
And that move only fueled more reactions online, with people saying things like, he looked like he was on the verge of tears, begging for forgiveness just the other day, then spotted Quando Rondo laughing in the comments and suddenly decided to act tough again. And look, I'm not sure why Rick Ross thinks he's in any position to be giving Drake lessons on anything, but whatever works for him, because people haven't forgotten the last time Ross tried to use his beef with 50 Cent to push album sales. This is a man whose last solo album, Scar Tissue, moved around 35,000 copies, and the collab album he put together with Meek Mill only did about 31,000 in its first week. And even then, Ross tried to reignite the tension with 50 just to generate some buzz around that project. If you were following along at the time, you'll remember that 50 Cent simply ignored him through the entire first week and only stepped in after the sales numbers leaked online, just to clown him publicly. And all of this was happening right around the time the final lap tour was rolling out. So the idea that a rapper who lost a versus battle to French Montana is talking down on Drake, yeah, that landed exactly how you'd expect it to. Meanwhile, a new snippet from Kendrick Lamar's associate, Glasses Malone, has surfaced, and the timing is notable, dropping just ahead of Iceman Do, alongside some pointed comments he made directed at UMG.
What's up with the album, man?
I feel like we basically done. I just gotta finish the features and then go play it for that white man in Michigan named Slim Shady. I'm gonna play it for him, get his feedback. He probably gonna tell me to add something, remove something. He probably gonna give me a beat, and yeah, that's it. Just pop back outside. Hopefully this time I come back out. I don't disappear on my fans for 3 years. I figure out that content sweet spot was talking about. And yeah, go on tour. Definitely trying to get back on the road.
How much does Eminem feature cost for you? You get it for free?
I think like $3 million I paid the last one.
Fuck.
I'm just playing. I don't know what he gonna do. He own all my music shit. He can take whatever he wants. I don't know. He probably took the whole splits of the song.
You look it up on Ask.
Oh God. Rich. He do not want my money.
That's great.
It's too rich.
And Drake's fan base has been having a field day with that one over the last several hours, mocking Glasses Malone for his claim that UMG actually represents the best interests of hip-hop more than Drake does. But the question worth asking is, do you actually agree with Glasses Malone on that? Let us know what you think in the comments. Moving on, West Side Boogie, who is signed to Shady Records, recently came through with an update on his highly anticipated upcoming album.
Introduction to Eminem happened. It just happened through the producer that I'd met on the email after I sent him the hook that I wrote over his beat for Love the Way You Lie, and the song blew up and everything. I didn't have any part in that. Like, the producer's the one who got the song to M. Yeah. And then M was in Detroit. Rihanna was in Dublin. Alex, the producer, was in New York, and I was in the cabin in the woods in Oregon. The song came out. It was huge. We'd never been all in the same room together. It's crazy. But then I met M because, obviously after the success of that song, he wanted to invite us out to write on or to work with Dr. Dre on his new album. And so Alex and I went out there, and it was so nerve-wracking walking into the room and there's Eminem and Dr. Dre.
No pressure.
No pressure.
None whatsoever.
Yeah. I was so quiet. Eminem, he actually later told me, he's like, I thought you were a bitch. Because I was just so quiet. I didn't say anything.
Because you were just so nervous.
I was so nervous.
Your poor little heart was probably pounding.
It was, yeah.
Because you write this massive banger, and then they bring you in to not only write with Eminem, but also to write with Dr. Dre. And it's that's double the pressure. And then that's pressure to have to create right there. I think you had said that you had pre-written a verse to bring
Alex
in
and
there.
I had gotten together before the trip and came up with some ideas to present. I didn't want to walk in empty-handed, and I also have a really hard time creating in front of people.
Yeah, that's got to be insane.
Yeah, so Alex and I took over a couple rooms in New York in the UMPG offices, and he was making beats in one room and I was writing hooks in the other room, and we came up with the I Need a Doctor hook there.
And now you've done how many songs with him? You guys?
I'd have to count. I don't actually know, but because we've done songs on his albums, he's featured on some songs for my albums, and then we worked on things together for Slaughterhouse. So I don't know, I'd have to add it up, but it's it's probably 15 plus.
And you don't want my money. That's great. Too rich. And from where things currently stand, it seems unlikely that Eminem will be appearing on the album. And that expectation is based on what happened when Eminem featured on Conway the Machine's album, as well as how things played out the last time he appeared on a West Side Boogie project. So don't hold your breath on that one. Shifting gears, Skylar Grey recently sat down on the podcast hosted by Jelly Roll's wife, Bunny XO, where she opened up about what it was like meeting Eminem for the very first time, and also shared her experience working closely with Dr. Dre. And at this point, the two of them have built up what is essentially an entire album's worth of collaborations together. And you could make the argument that it has become deliberate rage bait on Eminem's part. Because if you spent any time on social media over the years, particularly on Reddit, you'll know that complaints about Eminem and Skylar Grey collaborations have been a recurring conversation for a long time. These discussions really picked up steam ever since Revival dropped. And yet, Skylar Grey has continued to show up on Kamikaze, Music to be Murdered By, both side A and B, and even on The Death of Slim Shady. So at this point, it's hard not to wonder whether Eminem is fully aware of the noise surrounding these collaborations and is leaning into it intentionally. But that's just one take. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now, wrapping things up with a few fresh milestones for Eminem, That's All She Wrote has just gone silver in the United Kingdom, Godzilla has been certified 3 times platinum in the UK, and all the way in New Zealand, Shake That has earned a 5 times platinum certification. And as you can see, That's All She Wrote also went platinum in New Zealand earlier this year. And that's everything for today. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.